It is 6 o'clock. I will call the City of Allegan City Council meeting to order today, April 13th, 2026. Could I please have roll call?
Councilmember Clark.
Present.
Councilmember Westover.
Present.
Councilmember Walker.
Here.
Councilmember Canales.
Here.
Councilmember Hooker.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Hands.
Present.
Mayor Perigo.
I am here.
Do you have a quorum?
Thank you. If you are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving down to agenda item 4A is approval of the regular council meeting agenda for April 13th, 2026. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for today. Support.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving down to 5A is approval of the regular council meeting minutes from March 23rd, 2026. I am not aware of any corrections. All right, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving down to agenda item 6A is a 2026 Arbor Day Proclamation, which I don't know, Joel, do you want me to go ahead and read this, or do you have some information you want to?
Just real quick, this is, I believe, the 40th year of the city being recognized as a Tree City USA, which is part of the Arbor Day Foundation. Friday, April 24th at 10 a.m., we will be planting an emerald sunshine elm down at Hanson Park near the gazebo. The public's invited to that. This is our Liberty Tree that we're planting as part of America 250 celebrations happening across the country. And then on the 28th, we do not have a time exactly for this yet, but we will be doing our annual presentation and distribution of saplings, is what I'll call them, to the students at North Ward Early Education Center, Early Childhood Center. And with that, Mayor, we do have a proclamation we would like you to read during the meeting.
All right, Arbor Day Proclamation. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products and byproducts. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas the City of Allegan has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for the past 40 years and desires to continue its tree planting ways. Now, therefore, I, Tracy Perigo, Mayor of the City of Allegan, do hereby proclaim the last Friday in the month of April as Arbor Day in the City of Allegan, and I urge all citizens to support efforts to care for our trees and woodlands and to support our city's community forestry program. Further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden their hearts and promote the well-being of present and future generations. Dated this 13th day of April, 2026. Great. Anything else on that anyone had? I know Will said, you know, we did have to cut some trees down out here, but I am reassured every year we plant more trees than we cut down. Yes. All right, good. Moving down to the next agenda item is 9A, public hearing and adoption of Resolution 26.12 regarding the confirmation of the summer 2026 special assessment roll.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll handle this one. As part of our annual projects or processes here at City Hall, we create a single lot special assessment role for all properties where we provided a service to this property and did not receive payment. This typically has to deal with either blight removal, mowing of grass, or as part of our downtown garbage and recycling program. This year, we have $2,538.53 of unpaid invoices. Through our Code of Ordinances, we can take this cost and place it onto the individual property taxes. We have held several meetings on this process to date. This is the final meeting for staff. Upon adopting this resolution, the city treasurer, which is Tracy Stahl, will be instructed to add this to the next tax bill for these properties. They have till the end of this fiscal year, June 30th, to come in and pay these final bills. If they do not pay them by June 30th, they will be added to the taxes. Any questions for staff? And then while we have a total on the screen here, council on page 11 of the packet, which is available to the public through our website, it lists all the different properties. So you've seen these with your own eyes.
All right, and this does require a public hearing, correct?
Correct.
All right, so at 6:06, I will open up this topic for a public hearing. If you have any comments on this adoption of Resolution 26.12, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Great. I am not seeing any public comments, so I will go ahead and close that. All right, council. Can I get a motion to adopt Resolution 26.12?
I will make a motion to adopt Resolution 26.12.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion or comments from council? No? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 9B is public hearing and approval of the sale and development of city-owned property on North Main Street to ND Community Partners LLC.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight is a public hearing to receive comments and then have council approve a real estate purchase agreement with ND Partners or ND Community Partners LLC. Last fall, City Council asked staff to begin the process of identifying all non-government used city-owned land. So it's land the city owns, but we do not have a government purpose for it. And work with our contracted realtor, Reichart Realty, and begin the process of marketing and selling these parcels. This is one of those parcels. This is a very small parcel. I believe it's just a little more than 4,000 square feet. Working with a small home plans, we believe that this parcel can be developed in compliance with our zoning ordinance, which was just recently adopted by the City Council this past summer. As council is aware, our zoning ordinance was rewritten to encourage more flexible housing in our city, and this is an opportunity for us to see that put into action here. This developer is offering to purchase this property for $6,000. Our purchase agreement was developed by our city attorney and follows our typical purchase agreements. I will point out for council's benefit, we do not have any clawback provisions in this purchase agreement. And it'd be my recommendation to council that you do not have any clawback provisions in this purchase agreement. This is a parcel that does not serve a community or city purpose. We would really like to just get it into the developer's hand and let them build houses. I believe the developer is in the audience here if council would like to ask them any questions. This has been noticed in the paper for 3 consecutive weeks in accordance with Chapter 13.9 or 13-9 of our City Code of Ordinances, and we're ready to move forward and sell this property.
All right. Is there any questions for staff before I open the public hearing? No? Okay. All right. At 6:10, I'll open the public hearing. Again, if you have any comments on this agenda item, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Seeing, going once, going twice, no public comment. I will go ahead and close it. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Are we acting on that?
Yes.
Did our ordinance for minimum lot size have to change or no?
We took care of that already.
That
Yeah,
was
so-
part of the
Yeah,
change?
that's part of the whole rewrite. Yeah, your planning commission took the call of, we needed more housing in this community, and the city needs to take a leadership role in that. So what has to happen, just to further answer your question or try to read between the lines, all new residential development has to fit in with the surrounding neighborhood. So one thing we look at is setbacks off the right-of-way. So when you look at the structure just to the southwest of this, you can see it's nice and tight up to the sidewalk. This structure will probably end up being nice and tight to the sidewalk.
Does that answer your question? Okay. And any sort of curb cut for a driveway would be part of the,
I'm pretty sure part of the design, they'll probably have a curb cut coming off North Street.
and they would pay for that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. All right. Any other comments from council or questions? All right. Could I get a motion, please, to approve the sale and development of North Main Street?
I'll make that motion.
And support?
It's been moved and supported. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item number 10 is the first public comment of the evening. If you have a public comment for something not on the agenda, please approach the podium and state your name and address.
Yes, I have a question. When opening a business,
Yep.
Well,
Can I-
there-
Can I have you state your name and address, please?
I'm sorry.
No, that's
My
okay.
name is Carl Hudspeth, and I live at 343 Cutler Street here in Allegan.
All right, thank you.
And I am opening a new business, an electrical business. I'm going to read this because time is counting down, and I don't know how fast I can, go freestyle here. But like I said, my name is Carl Hudspeth. I'm opening a business. The name of the business is Dr. Watts Electric LLC. Dr. Watts is licensed and insured. The primary focus of the business is residential. I'm the owner and electrical contractor of Dr. Watts. I'm a third-generation electrician. I've been a state licensed master electrician for over 30 years. Haven't set up my business website as of yet. However, I can be found by Google search, and I'll leave some business cards here with you if that is acceptable. I offer free estimates to Allegan residents, and I want to earn my business and not use hard-to-understand terminology or scare tactics to separate consumers from their hard-earned money. So, and I think that discounts would include people like single parents, fixed income, students, teachers, social workers, mental health workers, waiters and waitresses in similar vocations, and of course, the police, fire department, EMTs, and paramedics. The public should be aware that all electrical contractors are not necessarily state licensed electricians, and more times than not, electrical technicians in residential service are not state licensed electricians. So this industry designation many times is used as a marketing tactic to make workers appear as state qualified electricians. This can allow companies to use lower cost, unlicensed, less experienced staff for service calls such as replacing outlets, installing fixtures, and/or service upgrades. If a technician who is not licensed or correctly supervised does work that violates code and leads to electrical issues or fire, insurance claims may be denied because work was not completed by a licensed professional. Homeowners should specifically ask if the person performing the work is a state licensed journeyman, journey person, or master electrician rather than a technician, and you should always ask for their card. So again, I'm Carl Hudspeth, master license number 6215913, contractor's license number 6110387, And again, I'm the owner of Dr. Watts Electric LLC, and I do make house calls. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? All right, seeing none, I will go ahead and there is another public comment later if you change your mind, but I will move on to the next agenda item, which is 12A and a presentation from Betsy Peterson and Linda Teeter of the Allegan County Legal Assistance Center.
Good evening. My name's Betsy Peterson. I'm the president of the Allegan County Legal Assistance Center, their board. And so we're just here today to talk about some of what we've been doing and also some of those members in your community that we've been serving. Since March of 2025, going to end of March this year, we have served 208 residents in the city of Allegan alone. My assistant here, Mr. Johnson, is assisting putting up some of our information up there, but you can see that we've served 208. The next highest area would be Allegan Township, 229. However, these are the two biggest served areas. The other and not in Allegan County would be 489. The issue with many people, as you know, is I'm currently a public defender. And so those who are charged with an offense, they have representation built in, right? If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. That's not how it works in civil cases. And so that's what the Allegan County Legal Assistance Center does. It guides individuals through some of those issues. One of the biggest things that we see people for walking in the door is to deal with divorce and child custody cases, whether they're filing a new divorce case or dealing with an old one, judgment. I was formerly a prosecutor. In that role, I worked a lot with victims and advocated for victims, and the Legal Assistance Center provides services to those individuals as well. When an individual is a victim of domestic violence and they need a personal protection order, the Allegan County Legal Assistance Center is able to guide them through that paperwork. They can't represent them, they can't give them advice, but they're able to guide them to what paperwork they need, what they need to do in the courthouse, and serve them. And so it provides a huge public service to our area. I know you guys are supporters of our organization, and so I want to thank you for that. Sitting in your roles here in public service, sometimes it's very important for us to step up and serve our community, and so that's what the Legal Assistance Center does. And so I ask that you guys continue supporting, and I thank you for your support because we couldn't do it without you. And I will have Linda come up and speak too.
Thank you. Thank you, President Betsy. Good evening. My name is Linda Teeter. I am Director of Finance and Fundraising for the Allegan County Legal Assistance Center. First of all, to note that the Legal Assistance Center is located in the first floor of the Allegan County Courthouse, and the Allegan County Board of Commissioners and manager provide that space. They provide telephone, they provide IT and maintenance services, which is a huge, huge benefit to the budget for the Legal Assistance Center. We have 5 part-time staff, a budget of $129,000. There's a part-time director of operations. My position is part-time, and we have 3 patron assistants who work one-on-one with the people who are coming in. Right now, we have 16 municipal contracts, so that's increased since I was here the last time, and that equals now about $38,000 in revenue for the Legal Assistance Center. And as President Betsy noted, we, on that graph, we assisted 2,742 persons that came in the door last year. The City of Allegan did not have anybody who called in or we Zoomed with, but all of your residents were coming in. So last year, thank you, you approved an agreement from October through the end of June of 2026 for $2,500. So when you're working on your budget this year, ask that you would consider that contract to be $3,500 from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. And we would appreciate your support. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Does anyone have any questions? I don't see any. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, council. Comments? Questions? Linda's here, Betsy's
Well,
here, or,
I just want to know, there's an increase, and I was just curious what the increase was for people who might be curious.
So, when we talked about the contract last year, it began in October and ran through June 30th. And so I knew that I would come back and ask if you would consider that increase so that it was for a whole year. So from July 1st to June 30th. Thank you.
thank you. Any other comments? I mean, we do have a proposal here, if anyone.
Just for clarification, we're not adopting our budget tonight, so you do not have to make a decision on any budget. You do
Motion
not have
tonight?
to make a motion tonight, just for clarification. Don't feel rushed if you're not
All
rushed.
right, no, thank you for clarifying. Does this council want more time to, we just had all of our budget meetings last week, on Wednesday and Thursday, so we're still digesting all of that. So am I hearing from this council that we would like some more time to think about this? And as we go forward with it, doing our final adoption of the budget? Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming, though, and presenting. All right. Moving down to agenda item 12B is a presentation from Lori Antkoviak regarding safe harbor and child abuse prevention.
Thank you. Good evening. As hopefully most of you know, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Blue is our color, so I appreciate that many of you are wearing blue tonight. I don't know if you realize you are supporting child abuse prevention. And I want to thank the city for making sure that the bridge is blue. That is always puts a smile on my face when we know that our city supports us and the work that we do by seeing the bridge blue. So many things that Safe Harbor Children's Advocacy Center does throughout Allegan County is as April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, we plant pinwheels. Typically, we have a pinwheel garden at our agency, but this year we're inviting individuals to come and get pinwheels from Safe Harbor and then plant them at their own business or their home, because we feel that many times people forget about the work that we do and how important it is that we support child abuse prevention. 1 in 10 children will be sexually abused by the time they reach the age of 18, and we see that number very frequently in Allegan County. And so we want to make sure that we have children in our community that have happy childhoods. And when you see those pinwheels, or when you see a child holding a pinwheel, they generally have a smile on their face. It brings a little bit of happiness, and so we want to support healthy childhoods and happy childhoods for kids in our communities. So last year, Safe Harbor throughout all of Allegan County, we provided 135 children with a safe place to share if they have received an unsafe touch, specifically allegations of sexual or severe physical abuse. So 135 children in our community came to Safe Harbor, and we worked very closely with law enforcement, the prosecutor, and Child Protective Services to make sure that the children received full service care. So when they come into our agency, those agencies that are required to do investigations come, observe the interview as it takes place, and then after the interview, we also offer therapy and medical exams. Everything that we do for children is completely free. They do not have to pay for their therapy. They don't have to pay for their medicals. And if they have to have blood drawn or anything like that, they go to the Allegan Hospital. And again, our agency makes sure to pick up the tab. The other things that we do in the community is our Court-Appointed Special Advocates Program, or our CASA. That is where we train volunteers to speak up on behalf of kids that are removed from their homes due to any sort of abuse. So in many times, these cases are more of cases of neglect or substance abuse in the home that prevents the parents from being able to properly parent their kids. So we were able to provide 16 kids with a CASA volunteer who speaks up on their behalf, and at every court hearing presents a court report so that the judge or the court referee has a very good idea of what's in the best interest of that individual child. In order to hopefully prevent abuse, we teach in every elementary school, and in Allegan, we are in all of the Allegan city schools, how to recognize an unsafe touch, who to talk to if they receive an unsafe touch, and hopefully identify a safe adult that they can talk to. So we reached over 7,000 children last year, but all of the Allegan County elementary schools. And I want to share a story with you because recently we had a child come into our agency. And as she began to talk to our staff during the forensic interview process, she disclosed some grooming behaviors where an individual was preparing this child for sexual abuse. But she remembered that when she was asked to keep it a secret, that was one of the things we talk about in our classrooms. We help them understand that if somebody's asked you to keep a secret that doesn't feel safe to you, you need to speak up. So as soon as that individual asked her to keep a secret, she knew something was wrong. She went to her friend, and because we help kids understand that sometimes our friends can't help us, so we need to make sure we tell an adult, she told her teacher. And they were able to bring that child in, and we were able to prevent further sexual abuse from happening to that child because she remembered the presentation and that it was okay to speak up about something that was happening to her that didn't feel safe. So we hope to continue that to help to prevent child abuse in our community. But we can only do that through community support. So one of the things that we do, we have upcoming our Lifeline Gala on April 23rd, so it's just next Thursday. If you have not had any information regarding that, hopefully you can visit our website. It is a fundraiser that helps support Safe Harbor Children's Advocacy Center. Over the last couple years, we have received quite a decrease in our funding. We are funded through federal grants for victim services and through state allocations. Our state allocations are very minimal. We share between 40 centers throughout the state of Michigan. We share $2 million. That does not go very far, as you can imagine. And so we have continued to receive a decrease in funding, and so we are really trying to encourage our community to come and support the work that we do. We work with the kids here in the City of Allegan and the County of Allegan, and so we do ask for support from the general public. Again, I want to thank the city for your continued support. I feel very strongly that the city has always supported the message and the work that we do at Safe Harbor. And so just want to encourage you to continue to be informed about the work that we do. And if you're able to attend one of our fundraisers, would like for you to do that too. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, moving down to the next agenda item is 13A, City Boards, Commissions, and Area Agencies. We have tonight is a review of the April 2026 Downtown Development Authority meeting minutes, which is me. Highlights were the trash recycling program and snow removal program. And in your packet later on in the evening, we'll talk about the recommendation of the DDA on the trash and recycling. Snow removal, still, talking about that and what the best way forward with that. Reviewed the survey, which is also in the packet that was sent out to the area downtown building owners. We also talked about the 2026 Match on Main nominations. Have both of those people been notified? So I don't know if that was in the packet or not. But one is Lacey's Nail Bar and then Eccentric Garden. So those both will be sent on for the next round, and then just an update on the downtown construction. Did I miss anything? No?
You covered it.
All righty. Okay, next agenda item, moving down to 13E1 is a request to approve accounts payable and payroll, and Mayor Pro Tem Hans.
It is requested that the city council approve accounts payable in the amount of $1,611,914.54, and payroll in the amount of $243,485.28, for a total disbursement of $1,855,399.82. Motion to approve.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions or comments from council? No? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 13E2 is a review of the February 2026 revenue and expenditure report.
Just quickly for council, this is a report we share with you periodically. This covers all of February's expenses through April 8th. Thank you, Tracy. So if you have any questions, this was part of your packet. You know, you can always reach out to staff and we can dive deep into them with you if needed. But this way, you guys are being kept apprised of where our money's going and what it's going for.
Thank you. Did any council members have anything they wanted to bring up tonight? No? No. Okay. 13E3, a request to schedule a public hearing for May 11th, 2026 regarding the potential sale of city-owned parcel 51290003000 on Week Street to Brandon and Melissa Genzink.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I am asking council to direct staff to work with our city attorney to develop a real estate purchase agreement similar to the public hearing we had this evening, albeit on a different parcel that the city owns. As council is aware, you're committed to seeing more housing be created in this community. We've done that through our zoning ordinance. We're also doing it through the process of freeing up city-owned properties that we no longer have a government use for. This was one of the parcels listed with Reichert Realty. Brandon and Melissa Genzink currently have built a brand-new house on James Street, and they're in the process of constructing another house on James Street, and this will be another parcel that they're going to put in their pipeline. I can tell you from the outside, the house on James Street is a very nice construction, and we're looking forward to see what they can do with this parcel on Week Street. As I mentioned earlier, Section 13-9 of the city charter requires us to publish this for 3 consecutive weeks in the newspaper before we can have the public hearing and then have you approve the sale. This means that you'll be scheduling a public hearing for May 11th, 2026. Any questions for staff? Thank you.
I make a motion that we schedule the public hearing for May 11th, 2026 for the potential sale of city-owned parcel 51290003000.
Support.
Moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 13E4 is to review a proposal from the owner of 226 Monroe Street to purchase their parcel.
Thank you, Mayor. Joseph Kopach, who currently owns 226 Monroe Street, which you can see an image on your screens this evening, emailed the city inquiring if we'd be interested in purchasing this. This is a decision and a discussion to be held by council and not by the city manager. Therefore, I forwarded this proposal recommendation to you. I do not know, is Mr. Kopach in the audience? Thank you very much for coming. If council wants to have a conversation with him, you may. But the email that he submitted has been, included in your packet.
All right, council, is there any questions, comments, discuss this proposal? Give me your thoughts.
Sure. Joel, has there been any further discussion on any possibilities as far as J.C. Park and what to do if that was the city's?
So I will remind council that last spring, when this parcel came up for sale, I shared the idea, or I didn't share the idea, I just said, hey, this parcel's for sale, it's adjacent to J.C. Park. And at that time, council did not direct me to move forward in trying to acquire it. Nothing's changed in regards to the city's master plan for this area. Nothing has changed, which is to increase the frontage of the park along Monroe. So nothing's changed in regards to that, Will, if that's what you're asking. Okay, thank you.
I did like that if we were to get it, that would be a higher section for J.C. Park. Because I walked it just to see how the elevation rate, and I kind of liked the idea of it being higher ground for that park and see what options we'd have for that. So,
I don't view it as much of a purpose in the park personally. We own the property, I think, between 230 and 240, which is 236 as well, which I'd love to get rid of as well. I'd see it as a property, if it was combined with its neighboring properties, to be a multi-tenant or a larger apartment complex on the back of the park. We have lots of parkland. I don't see much on why we'd want even more parkland to mow.
Yeah, my feelings haven't changed from when we talked about this when this first went for sale. I don't like the city in buying property. City needs to get rid of property. So I'm still on that. And
Although I do like the idea of expanding parks. Our budget's tight,
right,
so we shouldn't be buying houses, and we need more residents, so we shouldn't be tearing down houses. So
right.
that's how I feel about that.
All right.
I think the elevation makes it challenging to do something with it as well.
Oh. So Joel, are you just looking for kind of the consensus of council, or are you looking for some sort of motion?
Yeah. I would say Joel's not looking for anything.
Okay,
To be
so-
very clear.
Well, thank you for bringing it to us, but
Yeah, Mr. Kopech did email the city manager, also talked to a member of council, and every resident has the right to redress their government, and I'm not gonna tell someone, no, they can't come speak, so.
yeah. I mean, thank you. I know your vision was, hey, it'd be a great addition to the park, but hopefully you can, if you want to sell, can find a different buyer than the city. Yep. All right, I will move on to agenda item 13E5 is a request to review and adopt the proposed change to the downtown Allegan refuse and recycling program.
I'll go ahead and handle this one. It was referenced in the review of the DDA minutes that there's been some discussion for quite some time regarding a couple of our public services, including the downtown trash and recycling collection program that was implemented in 2023. The photo that you see here is the dumpster enclosure nearest to City Hall. That's the Regent Theater in the background. Excuse me. Oftentimes, we will find that these enclosures are overflowing. This usually is a Monday morning activity for Ryan and I. There tends to be a lot of buildup over the weekend, and Ryan and I are filling up the back of the City Ranger with the overflow and taking it to another dumpster that's hopefully got some room to spare. But what happens when the dumpsters are collected in this condition, if Ryan and I happen to not empty it in time, the city is charged overflow fees and contamination fees. This is a good photo because it shows all of those things in one and stuff outside of the enclosure as well. You can see that there's trash inside the cardboard and paper recycling dumpster and obviously overflowing over both. So the DDA's been wrestling with this topic for a while. 2 meetings ago, they asked staff, to put together a public survey that went out to our recipients in our downtown lowdown group. It consists of about 90 recipients. Pardon me. The answers that we got back kind of helped the DDA inform the decision that they made. which was a recommendation to eliminate the cardboard and paper recycling option and essentially double the number of trash or solid waste dumpsters at each location. All but one, which is nearest to the splash pad, that currently only has a solid waste dumpster because that's all the space that can fit. So in theory, what this would do would eliminate the contamination fines by eliminating the cardboard and paper recycling, and then eliminate the overage fees by doubling the amount of dumpsters that we have at each location. So it would prevent that overflow at each spot.
Any questions for Parker?
And just for everybody's understanding, where would the other recycling be if they didn't have those options?
Yeah, the cardboard and paper recycling options, currently there exists none within the city limits for cardboard and paper recycling. So it would be expected of the businesses, residential units, restaurants to break down cardboard and just put it in the trash solid waste dumpster.
Could we look into the possibility of getting a possible cardboard dumpster, maybe a larger one out at the DPW or something like that, where it'd be behind a gate, but we could, at night, but we can still, those who really want to can drive it down there and use that. I think it'd be nice to look into that.
Yeah, we can look into that. I just off the rip, talking about like after hours kind of stuff, I think that might be difficult to allow access behind a gate.
Yeah, it could just be during regular business hours.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did look into, before just writing off the recycling option. I don't know if anybody is familiar with dumpsters. Unfortunately, they will not service the city of Allegan. They need a certain threshold of users that need to be met for them. They're not just going to put a couple of dumpsters down here for just the city. They do service municipalities, but they also service churches and schools and other nonprofits, but they just don't have any in the city, so we need a few more users if that's an option that we're going to look at.
I do know, though, that July 1st of 2027, every county in the state will have to provide more recycling, a certain amount of recycling services or availability for every 5,000 residents, something like that, in a certain location, certain distance. So this will most likely have to be a temporary fix, if it's a fix.
So, well, when you say the county will have to, well, what I'm hearing, I could be wrong, that means the county will provide this service and the city won't have to provide this service. Is that correct?
The county will make the solution, form a solution in conjunction with every municipality. But certain funds will come from the county, but then funds will have to come from taxes as well. So,
the county hasn't reached out to the city to let us know that this is coming down. You said July of 2027? Okay, so we're a year out still.
right.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. So right now, obviously the issue that the DDA is hoping to address, I think had it in your packet, we've paid more than $13,000 in contamination and overflow fines over the last 2 years. So being able to hopefully eliminate those fines and switch to just solid waste collection.
In staff's time, that's
And-
not even figured in there, your time and Ryan's time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
all right. Any other questions, comments? No? All right, can I get a motion to adopt the proposed change to the downtown Allegan refuse and recycling program?
I'll make a motion to adopt the proposed change to the downtown Allegan Refuse and Recycling Program.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any further comment from council? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Thank you. 11E6 is a request to review and evaluate the 2021 Griswold Facilities Assessment conducted by Abonmarche Consultants.
Yes, I'll handle this one again too. We talked at a previous meeting about proposed improvements to the Griswold, namely the first floor lounge and the main entrance and its accessibility to the public. And during that discussion, it was asked of staff to kind of do a deep dive into the assessment that was done of the building in 2021 by Abonmarche Consultants. So what's been included in your packet are the findings of that deep dive. At the time, the engineers went through the building and assessed different rooms and gave them different ratings, including poor, fair, and good. Since receiving that assessment, the city has addressed 6 areas of the building just in 2025 during the capital improvement project that we did last year that were rated as poor, and improved those. Those include windows, walls, and ceiling in the upper lobby, exterior windows surrounding the entire building that were repaired and repainted, exterior brick tuck pointing surrounding the entire building, and fire escapes on both sides of the building were re-welded and repainted, all within that project that took place last year. Poor conditions that we have on the docket to address this year include repairing the exhaust of the mid-level restrooms and making sure that we have hot water to all of the sinks. We've got one water heater in the very back corner of the basement, and we've got sinks that go all the way up into the main level, and you can let that baby run for a while and you're not going to get hot water, so we want to make sure we correct that issue. And then, just taking some time to go through it and look at what was found back in 2021, what we've been able to address, and hopefully that kind of helps inform the decisions that we're making with this next improvement project planned for this year.
So in your packet, you got a copy of that 2021 assessment. I believe this is probably the second or third time we've placed it in a packet for you. The difference this time, is Parker mentioned, was staff went through and kind of just looked at each of the issues and said, where are we with them? And we feel we're making headway on the critical needs right now. Probably the biggest one that we're not making headway on is the steam pipes, which you'll see in that packet. And those are things that we can handle when we have major construction, which means ripping up the walls or the floors to get into those pipes. Other than that, some of those clanking noises we hear when we have air gaps in the pipes, we'll just have to deal with.
All right. Anything else?
No, and no decision obviously to
Yeah.
be made, but if you guys have questions of anything that you read, we're happy to answer.
No, just thanks for getting that information to us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks goes to Ryan Berza. He did a lot of the work, so.
Yep.
All right, any other questions? No? All right. 11E7 is a presentation from Mohammed Gabow on the work he has accomplished during his time as a Community Economic Development Association of Michigan Fellow here at the City of Allegan.
Yeah, Mohammed's coming up. His time with us is drawing to a close. His last day is April 24th. So this is his last council meeting. We've enjoyed our time with Mohammed, but we wanted to give him a little bit of a chance to spotlight the work that he's been a part of. This was a presentation that Mohammed put together himself for kind of the final report with his other fellows. He was in Lansing all last week and got to present this to those folks and some other state agencies. So he's going to kind of walk you through this presentation. A lot of it should be familiar to you, but it'll just give a chance for Mohammed to flex on his work a little bit.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Like you said, the time is coming to an end. So before I start this, I just want to say thank you for kind of letting me come and just into your town and just I really had an amazing time being a fellow here. So is that on? Okay. you guys obviously know, you guys lived there for a long time, so I kind of wanted to kind of let them know City of Allegan, what it's all about, and the amazing old bridge. So yeah, I kind of gave them the background of this town, so and obviously what kind of jobs we have here. So, and our main objective here is like housing. So I also told them about the Bowen and National Research as well, and how the Allegan County has been positive since 2010, and the projects have remained positive through 2027 when it comes to housing and things like that. And I also gave them kind of whole objective why kind of sometimes a small town kind of struggles with housing because of especially here in Allegan town, Allegan County, about 6,400 adults don't even have high school diploma, which contributes to the housing issues we have here as well. Another key one was like the MISHDA. You guys a little bit know about the home repairs. We have completed about 7 homes so far under that program. We used over 200,000 repairs, and about that 160,000 is still, I know that number looks like we're far from finishing that money, but some of those applications are still in process, so we haven't processed that. So I've been talking to James, kind of getting the update, so every week it'd be like more applications coming in. So hopefully by the end of October, we get to kind of finish that for $100,000 as well. So our main repairs are usually roofs, windows, doors as well, and then water heaters as well. And then as you guys can see, this is some of the houses that we've done here as well. So when obviously you guys know about the parcels and stuff like that. So when you guys brought that idea to Joel came up to me and be like, hey, go find how many parcels we have. And so I did all this research and then found these. So as you guys know, 2 of them are about to be sold, which is great. So I've been working with Ben Otis. He kind of gives me an update every Tuesday to see kind of how it's going and things like that. So I'm happy 2 of them are at least out of our hands, and the money will be coming into the city, so which is good. And hopefully those 2, and obviously the Ida one, hopefully will be sold too, so we can bring more housing and things like that into it. So which is kind of going to be helpful for us as well when it comes to housing issues in this town and obviously Allegan County as well. And then obviously you guys know about how much we love Griswold and how much we want to fix it up and things like that. So as you guys know, all the money we have, but the main one is I also applied for the T-Mobile home grant, which is about $50,000. Hopefully in June we'll get a good news. At least if they don't give us the whole $50,000, at least something. So I hope I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'll just text Parker and all to make sure if we get it or not. So I'm hoping and praying that we'll kind of get that money so we can kind of take it into helping the Griswold as well. Last thing is I love this kind of open house, kind of seeing the residents and things like that. So I really had a great time because I didn't see how the old pictures looked before. So it was kind of cool to see how kind of we went from how the town looks to now, so which was great. So I really had a great time kind of interacting with people as well. And then also when it comes to housing, the Delano is kind of getting up there, so we kind of go there every time, kind of pass it, me and Ryan, every time we're doing court enforcement as well. So it's amazing. So it's just people already moved in. I don't know if you guys see that, so it's kind of good. So to see there's more families coming in, more houses, so hopefully more to come. As you guys know, the Girl Scout property as well, hopefully that can be built soon too. And then as well as the one on Law Street where hopefully that apartment will come as well. So that's where the 90 units come from. So hoping and praying. I'll keep an eye on here too, so I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'll just be far, but checking this place out too. So. And lastly, I kind of gave them our whole community, like the resident engagement, about 2,130, the business engaged 58, 44 agencies that I kind of interacted with as well, 27 volunteers engaged, and then 33 hours, and then the grant that we applied was 6. The total was like 81,905, but we received about 42,276. And then lastly, other achievements, the Mayhem Park, the donut outreach, 174 people as well. And Parker gave me kind of the run to go look for the plaques and to make sure everybody's name is spelled correctly on there. So kind of looks great when they put it in, so it's kind of cool. And then the downtown, obviously, parking studies that people wanted to know about that too. And then also the community block party, so kind of bring more people together, do community engagements and things like that, so. And then obviously, as you guys know, we started the Allegan County Housing Summit, so we can kind of share what we know with the people around us, so they can kind of help them out with the housing crisis they have as well. So as you guys know, I work very close with Chris from the foundation. Last year, we kind of focused on the main things like brown TIF, like zoning and master plans as well. And then we also brought in people from LA 91 Homes and Stable Homes as well to kind of get in the minds of like how developers, things like that. And also this year is going to be a little bit different, where we're going to have the digital zoning atlas demo and zoning changes, which is someone going to be coming from MAP. And then obviously our Laura Castillo will be here as well for that as well. And then we're going to have manufacturing and model housing solution. Individual named Scott will be coming from Homes of GR and Martin. And then Emily from CEDAM will be coming as well. And then one of the main thing that I'm really interested in is like the Ottawa County, the small footprint home development as well. So I'm really excited to see how we can benefit us, especially in the city of Allegan, how we can use especially the north and like the North Main Street one, how we can kind of give people ideas that you can build a smaller homes as well. So I'm really excited about that. And then Fenville is coming too as a case study to learn about them, to see what they're doing in their towns as well. So, oh yeah. And then I just want to say thank you once again. It's been really an amazing 15 months. Thank you for taking me in. And then Joel and Parker for kind of trusting me and taking a leap of faith with me and giving me the opportunity to kind of trust me with some of the projects. I'm really grateful. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere, hopefully. When time comes, maybe I'll retire here, who knows. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And obviously, the City Hall staff has been amazing for the last 15 months. And I hope, like I said when I first started here, it's not about, you know, it's about what did I do to kind of make a little bit of change. Did I do my part? So I hope I did that. I hope I made a difference while I'm here. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So.
Thanks, Mohammed. All right, moving down to agenda item number 15 is the second public comment of the evening. If you have a public comment, please approach the podium and state your name and address. See no public comment, so I will move down to agenda item number 16 is presentations from the city manager. Anything tonight, Joel?
Just very quickly, it's been a pleasure working with Mohammed for the past 15 months, and you know he will be missed. For City Council, I need to make you aware that today we had a pre-bid construction for the first floor improvements at the Griswold. We had 5 firms in attendance, covered the whole spectrum from very small general contractors, you know, 1 or 2 people, to very large contractors that do $50 million projects. So it'll be very interesting to see where these come in. We plan on bringing those back to you at your first meeting in May. And that is all.
All right. Agenda item number 15, roundtable discussion from council and mayor and councilperson Canales.
Nothing for me.
All right, councilperson Hooker.
I just also want to thank you, Mohammed. I'm amazed at what you got done in 15 months and were able to help with, so thank you.
All right, councilperson Clark.
I've got nothing, but even though I'm the new guy, I want to say thank you for all you did.
Councilperson Westover,
Yeah, thank you, Mohammed. It was great seeing you out there every day.
Councilperson Walker,
Thanks, Mohammed. Melanie, April 20th, right? That's what, Monday? No.
Yes, Monday, April 20th, from 4:30 to 6:30 at the library, so PM, evening, at the district library.
Anyone can join us, please.
Not anyone can join you. Open Meetings Act.
Yeah.
Please, only one can join you. Keep it 3 and under. Sorry for cutting you off, but just wanted to be clear for council and people watching at home.
right. Mayor Pro Tem Hance,
I wanted to thank Mohammed for all his work he was doing here, and glad to see our construction starting, and ask for the patience of the city residents and the construction and the trouble that it can cause while it happens, but hopefully it'll get done pretty quick.
all right, thank you. I just want to say thank you as well to Mohammed. It was a pleasure to get to know you, and thank you for all of your work you did for the city and the residents. And I wish you luck with wherever you go, whatever you do, and I do hope to see you back here from time to time. And with that, at 7:01, I will adjourn.